right. As soon as Dwayne tells me we're on go, I'll be ready. Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Welcome everyone to our meeting from Wednesday, October the 13th. Reverend Lacey.
Oh, gracious Father, we come down first of all say thank you. Thank you again for allowing us an opportunity to meet again. Thank you for this county, this state, this nation. We're praying for this commissioner here, each and every one in their family. We're praying, God, that whatever we do today, we do it in the name of you and something to help this county as far as voting is concerned. We ask that you go with us today. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thanks everybody. Let's look now at our minutes from September the 13th. Everyone was furnished a copy earlier, and I hope everyone's had a chance to review everything. I believe they're in order, but I want you to check and see what your opinion is.
I move to approve as written.
All right, I have a motion, okay, and a second from Commissioner Dickinson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We have Anita joining us by phone this morning, and her deputy is here with representing the circuit clerk's office. And so, Anita, feel free to chime in at any time. We're up to you with remarks if you'd like to do that, and then we'll go to the next items that Teresa may have with her.
Okay, I have given Teresa everything that I have. I think she's got the VR001 report there with her, and if she can hand that to.
She did, and I've signed it, so we're good. Okay.
Very good. Also, she has given you. She has with her there a letter from the Secretary of State. She sent that in, and it's dealing with HAVA funds.
Right.
And how much are available. I don't know that y'all received a copy of that, but I received a copy. So I can't remember right now how much money is available there, but it's several $1,000s.
Right, I did see that, and so I appreciate, she handed me a copy this morning. I appreciate that.
Good. So, that's available for us to spend, or for the commission there to spend.
Uh-huh.
So, I would highly recommend that, you find something there that y'all can spend it on, because it's available.
Right.
And at the back of it there, it tells you it tells you exactly how to go through it, and I think you're familiar with doing that. So,
Right, we've done this before. I think this will be great to have a opportunity to get some things that normally we wouldn't have budget money for. So I think that's great. Okay.
And then this morning, Teresa got with Gavin. I contacted him with ES, and he contacted us with ES&S, and we were able to get the election closed with the city of Canton.
Wonderful. Okay.
And I think it went off without a hitch. So
Good.
without a glitch, I mean.
Okay.
So that's about all that we have. And Teresa, you have anything?
Other than I gave them a copy of the other permanent absentee that was not on the list.
And we'll get this approved.
Could you hear that? I'm not sure how you...
That's permanent absentee.
Right,
Yes.
right. Okay, okay. Great. All right.
We'll put it on there next week.
We have the report. How many I forgot to look at the number, Teresa. How many?
202.
202.
I think. Hold on just a second. 202.
202 movements then, okay. All right. Do I have a motion to acknowledge this report?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second it.
Leroy.
Leroy, okay. All right. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Okay, now let's go down to purges by district. The time frame is from August the 5th to September the 7th. And District 1,
29,
District 2,
30.
District 3, 35, District 4,
21.
and District 5.
48.
All right, is there a motion to acknowledge these purges?
So moved.
All
Second.
right, and Leroy and Dan. Okay, all in favor?
aye.
All right. Now we move to the inactives by district, and we have District 1,
15,
District 2,
3.
District 3, 14, District 4,
9.
District 5.
17.
A motion?
So moved.
Mr. Lacy?
Second.
All right, and Lauren? All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now, last month, we had the list of disenfranchising crimes, and out of that group, we then found some, in addition to the ones that Mr. Dickinson was able to find that were ones that had crimes that had been committed in other counties, and he had gotten with our attorney to determine that these were indeed disenfranchising crimes, and we have now compiled a report of how many we are through this same time period that we have purged. So District 1,
2,
no, excuse me, I'm on the wrong line, and my apologies. District 2,
0.
District 3, 3, District 4,
8.
District 5.
3.
All right, motion,
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Lacy and Lauren, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And Madam Chairman, just so I'm clear, those are people that you actually found as voters on the rolls and purged. You're reporting back,
Plus the ones that,
plus the extra.
the ones Dan had given to you.
From last meeting.
Wasn't it 8 of those?
Correct.
Uh-huh. And so the 8 are intermingled in here, plus the other count would give the ones off our original list.
Okay, thank you.
And that's how we came up with our numbers there.
Can I ask a question, Ms. Pat?
Yes.
I mean, on this list that y'all gave me, I found 2, so is that including them, or what is this including? I don't know.
I ran the report by district, and so if they had been purged, even if they were in a different district, they show up.
I mean, I don't know what district is in, I just,
Leroy,
I just seen
I
two
don't
of
have
them.
any from your district in terms of out-of-county ones. So anything that you find here, I think,
It would
must
be.
be from the ones that we considered when we were here last time.
Yeah,
Correct? Am I correct?
that's right. Would you explain what I had asked you to do with the list that's on Sims, the AOC list?
Right. I think everybody was assigned a couple of pages from the SEMS list in terms of Madison County people.
Right.
And then asked to see if they were active voters and if they had been voted to disenfranchise to go ahead with that purge. The second thing that I've done is gone through the AOC list, which has people who have committed crimes against citizens of other counties that live in Madison County and are active voters or are on our voter roll. We contacted the circuit clerks in those counties, asked for documentation of the crimes. And in a couple of cases, we could not get the documentation. In one case, the documentation showed the person had not committed a disenfranchising crime. But the ones where the disenfranchising crimes were involved were all reviewed with Spence. And we voted, I think, 8 of those last meeting, in addition to the ones that were on the list that we traditionally look at. Now, none of the ones that we voted from the county list, Leroy, were in your district. They were in districts 1, 3, and mine, and 4.
What it is, Helen and Dan and I were in the office at the time that Dan was beginning this search, And Helen and I asked him to include our districts because it's a complicated, tedious test. And so if you commissioners would like for him to do yours, then,
And you have asked. me
Yeah, I
when
believe I
have.
asked you last meeting.
okay, so that way we,
Yes.
if that suits everybody, then to me, it's easy for one person to handle all of that because it just comes back as a neat little package because he can refer it.
And you get to know, I mean, the county clerks themselves are not going to handle this in most cases.
Right.
It's going to be, somebody in Teresa's job.
Yeah.
And you get to know who those people are, they know who you are, what you're looking for, why this is important. And it has been helpful. And everybody has jumped in and provided assistance.
Well, I appreciate you doing that and taking care of it for the whole group.
No problem.
Let's move down to permanent status requests for 3 voters. And there are 2 from District 2.
Yes, Miss Eleanor Ruth Elam and her husband, Mr. Jimmy Bay Elam, both have presented the appropriate doctor's notes and applications for permanent status. I recommend that they be approved for permanent absentee status.
All right, and then there's one that we were just handed paperwork on, Leroy, for Mrs. Yvonne Heath. She lives here and votes at the old Sacred Heart, which would now be the Jimmy Goodloe. What precinct number is that?
521.
521. And they, Circuit Clerk's office has listed her actual ID number. And so would you approve her from your district?
Please approve.
All right.
And her name is Lavonne.
Yvonne, Y-V-O-N-N-E.
Okay, thanks.
Heath. All right, I will take Mr. Lacy's as a motion for all 3. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Who did the first?
Leroy. All right. We have already addressed the old business that I see there, so you can just check that off because we've already addressed that up in here. New business. We were all given a list of our district permanent absentees, and we need to report back on that. And since number 1 is mine, I will address my list first. The only one I found on my list of the 57 voters that I have for District 3 was Miss Lucille Nichols. That voter there needs to be removed because she is deceased. And so I make a motion that we remove Miss Nichols.
So moved.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now we'll come back by districts, and I'll ask you if you have anything to report. Warren, do you have any that need to be changed?
No.
All right.
None.
Not at this time.
Okay, 4.
I looked through, they all seem to be still alive and still voting and still interested.
Okay, and 5.
And I have an opportunity to look, but I'm good at this moment.
Okay. All right. It's not going to be as critical at this point right now because we're not having, that we know of, a November election.
Nothing I'm aware of.
But that's, the purpose of this is the legislature has this scheduled for definite periods of the year. And so we were checking on our disabled voter list by districts. And so that, I just see that one that we just voted to have removed. The other people stay intact. I sent letters out to some of my, about 12 of mine that I was not able to find by phone, and I heard through Commissioner Dickinson that one had called back in wanting to know what their letter was about. And he said, well, just return it and say there's no change of address. We were just trying to verify you
Right.
were, it sometimes throws people off when they get something in the mail like that. So I hope to get my letters back with, confirming that they are there. But it is a good job to keep our list where it is concise.
What was Miss Nichols' first name again?
Lucille.
Okay.
All right, Anita was mentioning earlier about the HAVA update, and I had listed it there on new business because this came from Secretary of State Watson. And if you want to jot this figure down and help us dream in future meetings, how we need to address spending this, it is $302,946.28, which is a huge amount. The wonderful thing about this is that it does not expire until we've spent all the money. Sometimes it has been conditional where we had to do it within a certain time frame. And so this will be much easier, I think, for us to enhance our elections and help with the process by being able to dream and use this in ways that will help us. That has to be done with an application that goes to the Secretary of State's office. And before that, we have to run it through the Board of Supervisors and get their endorsement of it also. And so it's a lengthy process, but it's something that's well worth us undertaking. And so I look forward to us being able to enhance elections here for Madison County. I guess we're down to you, Spence.
All right.
Before you move, Madam Chairman, I have one more piece of new business.
Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
think we may have jumped over that, or there's a clarification. But if you recall at the last meeting, I mentioned that we had some outstanding documentation on disenfranchising crimes that we were still waiting for from some of the counties. We got back documentation on 5 individuals. I have submitted that to all of you, I think, as well as the legal records. 4, and Spence, I think you've had a chance to look at them too.
Yes.
4 of them are clearly committed disenfranchising crimes. 1 appears not to have committed a disenfranchising crime. So I don't think that the list that you have in item number 8 includes these 4 individuals.
It does not.
It does not.
No.
So
You have that as a part of your information. It looks sort of like this.
Right.
But you do have a sheet there that would show you the crimes listed.
So if we have any questions, I'd be happy to entertain them. Otherwise, I'd appreciate a motion that we disenfranchise the 4 who have clearly committed disenfranchising crimes.
Okay, you're making the motion?
I
Is
made
there?
the motion, but any discussion?
All right, Lauren, and then now we would have discussion. Okay, hearing none, let's vote. All in favor? Aye. Okay, the motion passes. I think you have a list like that in your group too, Spence. I hope you do. If not, I can
think
get
I
you
do.
one.
Let's see.
I think in your packet we had included one.
5, yes. This, no.
That's the original list. This one is on, it's a letter from Dan on his letterhead.
Okay.
Do we know what precincts these
Might
are,
get-
Dan?
Yes, we do. Yeah, if it's not in the letter, and I think it was in the letter.
It's on the list, I
I think
think.
it's on the list.
Spread out list.
The
yeah.
spread out, yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That you
All right.
have with it.
Spreadsheet.
Oh,
That's
okay,
right.
okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. And there may be 1 or 2 more that'll trickle in, but right now I'm pretty close to caught up.
I had an additional copy.
Thank you for that, Dan.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. Up to you then, Spence.
Sure. Thank you. No, I don't have any thing to report. It's an unusual October. Usually we're very, very busy, but with no elections, that makes it a light October. So I don't know if y'all had any questions for me on any front. Keeping up with, public records requests with Clerk Ray and that type of thing. So if I don't have any questions, I'll go ahead and pass my bill out. Pretty light this month, as it should be, so,
Thank you.
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you.
thanks.
So move to pay Mr. Spence.
All right.
Second.
Was that you on the second, Lauren?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was the first?
Leroy?
And Lauren on the second?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me get that on his billing here. I have to sign the approval on it after we have voted on it, and then he can submit it. So let me finish the paperwork on that. Okay. Now we are down to comments
Madam
from,
Chairman, you gotta carry the vote through.
I thought I did. I'm sorry.
We just moved.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Motion passes, okay. All right, Commissioner, District 1,
None.
District 2,
No comments.
3. I've got something I'd love to discuss with the group and just see how you feel and how we can implement this perhaps. I would love for us to be able to be together at some point every week for at least an hour or 2 hours. In the daytime, Monday through Friday would be a day. Are there any times that we could, now, I could get here as early as 7:30 if we could start early, you know, if that would help anybody's schedule. But I just noticed that sometimes it's easy to think of things that we need to discuss and work problems out about because we've just gotten a phone call. And sometimes if we have to then disseminate it to somebody that's not there, it makes it a little harder to get all the details. And so I would love for us to, at some point, rather than just once a month here on our meeting time, for us to have more or less an established office hour day. And I don't know, I'm not trying to force the issue, but I wanted to see what your feelings might be about it.
I can do weekdays after like 4:15.
What, I didn't hear that?
After about 4:15.
Not good for me, though, but anyway. I can't do,
I think it's a splendid idea. I'm flexible, but I'm retired except for doing this. It's different
Right.
from some of the rest of you folks.
Right.
Let me and Ms. Lauren work through it, find out what's best.
Since we're the two that still work full-time.
Right.
Yeah, let's figure out something. I mean, I wanted to just throw it out there as a talking point that we could, get to.
Work, Ms. Lauren, I mean, Wednesday morning is my best morning, Monday, Tuesday is wife morning treatments and all of that. so,
Right.
Wednesday is his mornings is the only time.
And it just would be
But it gotta
helpful.
work for this
Sometimes I'll think of something and I'll voice it to the people that are in the office and I might forget to call and tell you about it. And so I want us to all be on the same page and be working together as we, go into the new election year and everything. So something that I'd been thinking about, I wanted to bring it up as my discussion from District 3.
Did you be on conference?
Very good.
And as follow-up on that, I think that is a good idea. And it might be that as you find a standing time, that you might be a good practice for us to go ahead and post it just to notify the public that that's kind of a meeting time, since all 5 of you
Would
will
be
be together.
together, right.
So let's think about that too. So
I understand with that needing to be part of the issue too. That's a
Yeah.
good point.
Okay.
But sometimes it's just better when we're all together,
Right.
we're all throwing ideas out, and let's say we're ordering supplies. Well, it's easy to find out what everybody wants at one time, and I might say something that'll make Helen think of something else she wanted, and so I think the dialogue together would be helpful.
I think it'll save you time. It'll be more efficient because then you just, decide things. So that's great.
Leroy just had a good suggestion. If we can't work at a time where Leroy and I can actually be in the office, would y'all be amenable to us being present on a conference
I'm gonna be present
call?
on Wednesday. I was saying for yourself,
Okay.
if we could, the majority will be there. Ms. Lauren can be on conference till we can work it out. Till she could be there in person on Wednesdays at 9, and she says she can spend an hour on a conference call until we all can work it out. At least 4 of us will be there, and then you can.
I think that sounds great
and work
then.
through it then.
That sounds great. All right.
And I'll make a suggestion too, going into it on things like this. Don't make the perfect the enemy of the good or what have you. Life comes up and it's just a standing meeting, and everybody tries to make it, but if you can't, it's not a big deal. You just keep it going, like with anything in life,
And that's true. That's true. Okay. Well, thank y'all. I think it will help us as we move forward with the activities for the county. So, all right, District 4.
Just 2 things.
Just Pat, excuse me,
Sir.
but when is this going to start? I mean, it doesn't need to start next week because we need to digest it, but when are you talking about starting?
what do you say?
He said, when are we going to start this?
Would November 1st, the first Wednesday in November, be a good time to start?
give us a few weeks to get everything
I
arranged?
think that suits me fine. Does that work with others'
Fine,
schedules?
fine. Okay.
All right, well, let's start that on November the 1st. Spencer, you thinking you would be a part of this at that hour too, or do you want to be conference called in, or how?
Yeah, I'd love to, just like y'all, and then if I can't make it, I'll call in and.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
thanks for including me.
All right, and this would be in our office over here behind the health department. If anybody else from the public was interested in just observing our day-to-day business.
That's true. And so for y'all to know, I imagine most of it won't be y'all taking action at all. It'll just be
It
just like
probably
when you're in
won't.
office.
That's not the
But if you notice the meeting and have it publicized, then you could, take action, which
Sure.
again would be an efficient way to move
Right,
quickly and interact more than once a month. So that's great.
right. Well, thank y'all. I think it'll help us as we, work.
I'd like to do it like at 8 o'clock in the morning, or early in the mornings.
Well, 9 o'clock for just
9
1
o'clock,
hour. For
9
1
o'clock.
hour.
That'd be perfect.
Okay.
9 o'clock.
Uh-huh. And we'll
Perfect.
start it November the 1st.
I mean, the first Wednesday, whatever that is.
Yeah,
Sir?
the first Wednesday of November.
Whatever that is.
The 3rd. No, let's see. Let me look at this calendar. Let me flip it up here.
Now, do we have a conference line that we would be able to provide, or do Spence and I just need to call in as necessary? How would we get us all on the same line?
Yeah, it would
We
be
need to figure
November
that
the
out.
3rd.
November the
Call Miss
3rd.
Pat's phone.
Yep, you can just call me and we can just, be on it.
Okay.
Or we'll work it out. I could call you. I can conference call with my phone too. And if it's just you, I can call you and then put it on speaker.
Right,
And do it that way.
right.
So,
Mr. Spence, somebody else call him. We'll get him.
yeah. All right. That'd be good. All right. Well, thank y'all. All right, District 4.
Okay. Two quick things. Document control system is now up and running. Pat put a lot of time in taking a look at all of our documents and making recommendations and changes. You'll find all the documents in their correct version and revision on the shared file. If you haven't got it into the shared file, get in contact with me, get in contact with Dwayne, and we'll make that possible for you. There's also going to be a binder which will have a clear, correct, printable copy of every document in the document control system. That will be located next to the printer. If you need to use it, that's great, but please, please put the document back in the folder, in the file, so that we have it the next time we need it. Second thing is, Helen and I, when we were out in Arizona, saw some beautiful bags for elections. They are collapsible. They're about 3 times as strong as the ones we've got. They take up less than a quarter of the shelf space. And I think that would be a nice way to spend some of that HAVA money slowly as we replace the old ones. Many of them, as you know, are in bad shape, not even in working condition. If we could replace them with a better product that costs just about the same, I think we'd really benefit the voter, because these things are more durable, they're easier for our people to use, and the fact is they save a lot of storage space over there.
All right. District 5.
I really don't have anything really dealing with this. Mine is mostly ECAM. We had our last quarterly meeting Saturday. The training convention is still on for January the 18th through the 21st in Biloxi. All plans are being made for that. We should have soon the registration out so everybody know the price and get it to the supervisors. Basically, that's the big side of it for us. The rest of it is kind of internal stuff until it all happens. So it's not discussable on this thing right here, but hopefully everything will be together for that side. That's pretty much all I have, but everything is on for ECAM
Good.
so far at this particular point in time.
Well, thank y'all. I've got one other point, if I may. I had begun looking at the figures for the 2020 census. They are available online now. And Madison County is in the top 6 of all the 82 counties in Mississippi. And our population grew from 10 years ago, which is not the case with the majority of the state. And so I'm pleased that we are in that category. And we have a population of 109,145. And I think that gives us great things to look forward to as we work within our districts. I know there will probably need to, as the supervisors meet with us, hopefully, that we will get input with how our precincts will perhaps be realigned. But it is something that is ongoing, and I look forward to the process that we do. If we make any changes, the GIS department has asked that we would certainly let them know anything that changes so that they can update things on their lists as well. But it is a responsibility of the supervisors, but with them working with us, we hope that we might have some input that would help as we direct the voters. And maybe if we could rearrange some precinct lines, it might be able to take some of the heavy voting off of one area and put it over here. We mentioned some things perhaps in some of the districts that would be helpful. So I look forward to this being something we tackle in the next year, in '22, and I have already started getting the preliminary figures together. I don't have anything else. Is there anything else from any of you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, we could entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, that's Lauren and Dan making the motion. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? None. And so motion passes, and we are now adjourned.
Who was second? Who was second?
Dan. Thank you, Anita. Did you have anything else?
No, I didn't have anything else. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Everybody can turn their mic off.